How do I stop my brother's wife from hitting on me? She just won't stop and makes me very uncomfortable. She's gotten bolder and bolder and is very suggestive. I've told my brother about it and he says it's just a joke and she doesn't mean it. I told her too and she laughed and told me to lighten up. I can cut off contact from them both but their family. Edit. I should also mention that I'm aware there's a power dynamic at play here. I'm 23, he's 8 years older than me and she's a couple years older than him. 2 options that might work. 1. Next time she does it, screw up your face and say, "Ew," whilst looking her up and down. Not in a hugely dramatic way but in a sincere, pitying way. Think of her as some drunk girl in a club, with dirty toilet paper stuck to get skirt. 2. When you're around other people, loudly say, "I'm not interested in being a part of your weird kink, so stop trying to force me." Flick her in the forehead. Spray her with a squirt bottle every time she hits on you. She's sexually harassing you. Tell her to fuck off or yell at her, say no, do not touch me or talk to me like that, etc. This inappropriate. You could tell her that she's gross. Make sure to be stern and really serious. Or get slightly angry and tell her off. It's not funny at all and I don't understand why she can't just leave you alone either. Just cause you're a male, it's somehow funny to be harassed. What? I don't understand. Useless husband with good intentions. I'm at the end of my tether and looking for advice. Pensive face. My husband is a good man. We've been together for 5 years and have a 3-year-old. He always has the best intentions but he is objectively useless. He has forgotten to give his daughter lunch, dinner in the past. He can't keep a consistent routine with her or the dog or the house. I feel like I run around fixing his mistakes but only the ones that affect our daughter. I believe he should learn from his own mistakes, except here's the catch. He doesn't. He literally cannot learn from his consequences. He says he feels awful and is visibly affected but nothing changes. He can't cope with life. He can't pack a bag for nursery without forgetting nappies or a juice bottle. He has tried to learn about bills but missed the council tax so many times I had to step in before we ended up with an unaffordable bill and an affected credit rating. At one point I thought it would be a good idea to give him the whole responsibility of something that I wouldn't need to get involved in. Toilet train the dog. 18 months. People. 18 months of piss and shit in the house before he could be consistent enough, and through most of it he wanted to get rid of the dog because he can't cope. He had a rough upbringing, was neglected and it shows, and he's been to therapy but he can't work out what's wrong. The fix, he says. Honestly, there's too much to write about, but the reason I'm at wit's end is, it's our daughter's birthday, we took her to the zoo. Because I was away for work I asked him to get to the zoo and he hasn't packed a changing bag. No nappies or snacks or juice bottles but all the clothes and a hairbrush, etc. I can't rely on him, I resent him so much, he fully depends on me and it feels like I have another child. What can I do? What am I missing? I don't want to leave or hate him but this isn't a partnership. Your husband has executive function disorder. Lists and alerts are going to be your new best friends. Something like Alarmed, a reminder timer app, and laminated checklists on the diaper bag could change your life. Bring him to a therapist that specializes in cognitive behavioral therapy for executive function disorder. Good luck, op. This is totally treatable. He needs to get actually diagnosed and treated and make a plan to do so. I dated almost an exact copy of this guy and my friend just broke up with his girlfriend who was like this. It's untenable, and if something doesn't change you will resent him, and once resentment creeps into a relationship you can't walk that back. It's over. Sounds like adult ADHD. The accumulating marriage and family responsibilities seem to have eclipsed his coping abilities. My 18 female friend, 18 female, calls my son ugly every time we get into a fight. I have this friend and every time we get into fights she makes comments about my son's appearance. For example, she recently compared him to the Grinch and said I should have aborted him if I knew he was going to come out looking like that. She even went as far as to put his picture next to a hairless baby bird and send it to me. Then afterwards she'll apologize and say she was just joking and she actually thinks he's adorable. I'm considering unfriending her, but I don't know if I should because I say some pretty hurtful things first that might provoke her. But I also feel like talking about my son is taking it too far. Old, 30s, person here. By my age you've learned to just cut that type of person out of your life entirely and immediately. That's like, give them a look of disgust, walk away, and never talk to or think about that person again. Territory of awful. It doesn't sound like either of you bring out the best in the other. and ending the friendship is probably the right call. You are a mother now and your child is your priority. You are only 18, but being a mom makes you grow up fast. Trading insults may be typical teenage behavior, but when someone insults your baby, that is one and done. And why are you and she getting into fights anyway? Friends have disagreements but not fights where she sends you pictures of your child compared to an animal. Dump her immediately and keep her away from your son. She is not your friend. Be a good mom and protect your baby. Neighbor across the street uses car alarm as an actual alarm. For a long time now, around the same time, my neighbor's car alarm goes off around the same time Monday through Friday. I was talking with the neighbor directly next to them as they are across the street from me, and said that it has to be on purpose. My next-door neighbor has been there for over 50 years and knows the neighborhood pretty well, and she told me that the car alarm is a literal alarm, like an alarm clock. I'm not sure how or why they are doing this, but it is pretty disruptive. My wife works from home and I sometimes have to make calls, and it is quite annoying when the cat alarm goes off in the middle of those things. It also causes some of the dogs to howl and bark. I'm asking you guys on how I should handle it. I was thinking of going over there to see if everything is okay when it goes off if I'm around, and maybe buying them an alarm clock. Tia. Oh my god. How has no one given this person free raw breakfast eggs across his windshield to go with his morning alarm? I didn't realize this was even possible. My vehicle has an alarm and there's no way to make it go off on a timer. Pretty sure that's impossible without major rearing. Contact the WA. Go over there and try to have a civil conversation about how this person's habit negatively affect the quality of life of you and all your neighbors. Reassure them there are alternative solutions, and give him an alarm clock, maybe two, just to really drive home the point. I've been on Reddit a long ass time and of all the things I thought I would see this is the one I thought I'd see the least. Your neighbor is a psychopath.